Hi guys, Morino Ravenberg here again. This live stream is going to be on my occult giveaway course, and in case you didn't notice the thumbnail, I got my new fedora, nice beautiful white fedora. Mm, this one is a bit more loose because it's large, whereas the other one is small, but it's okay. The size difference is barely noticeable, so yeah, I'm still doing good. So yeah, that's what this stream is going to be about. Let me just type it. This stream is going to be about the occult giveaway as well as miscellaneous questions and updates for me. Simply minor. For those of you that aren't familiar with the occult giveaway video, the occult giveaway video is here. And as usual, I'm going to share the link and whatnot to people so that they can see. Sorry, so that they can see I'm online and everything. Come on. Oopsie daisy. You know the link, guys. It's just usual live streaming. Just usual live streaming. Today is Thursday, August the 8th. The days are passing by slowly but surely. Less slow for some than others. For me, the time cannot move fast enough or as quickly enough as possible. And let me simply start off by saying that I do like the positive feedback I got on the occult giveaway video. Let me see. Yeah, the video has gotten a good deal of attention already. The video has gotten a good deal of attention already. Okay, and I think I have under 100 views, and more than enough people have commented, of course. And yeah, that's what the thingy contains or what it entails. That is what the giveaway itself entails. For those of you that are still unaware of it or haven't heard from it, I simply give away an all expenses paid vacation with me as your host to my location, Suriname. And I will be taking you to all the places that I go to for fun. They're mostly nature themed or nature oriented, or simply nature oriented by nature. So that is that. My local time is 3:50 p.m. Been live streaming for 3 minutes now. I see one person watching. The rest perhaps is preoccupied or otherwise or similar. Santix Mendes also says hi. Okay, 2 people are online now. 2 people are watching the stream. Hello, Santix. That's what the stream is about. You can see it for yourself in the chat section. My first 2 initial messages. Oh, so yeah. I don't know. I think this live stream might be long too. I don't intend on streaming for hours, but it all depends on the situation and, of course, the people that join this live stream. In any case, that's what it's going to be about. I have a guest bedroom in my house, which I will be putting someone up in. The person that comes over here, once they arrive here, um, it's a lot cheaper than a hotel. Obviously, if you were to spring for a hotel here, it would be $75 a night. So you can imagine if you were to stay 2 or 3 weeks here, that would be approximately $1,500. What else can I tell you? Yeah. So yeah, instead of that, you would be staying with me. You know, I provide everything, food, you name it, blah blah blah, etc., etc. And I'd be taking you to all the places that that we were to go to. Well, all the places that I've already been to. I've been to practically everywhere here. There's nowhere else I can go to. Okay, the only places I haven't gone to are by plane or with a helicopter. for example, deep into the jungle, but that's not necessary, and definitely not necessary for the ridiculous amount, for the ridiculous asking prices that these chartering companies ask you. One of those broken down piece of shit planes, just going to a remote, worthless, broken down, ghetto looking village in the jungle and coming back to Suriname's capital called Paramaribo is, yeah, it's already $3,000. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. With one of those small, stupid little planes that can carry, what, 5 people or something, or 6 people. So, yeah, those are things that we are going to do. Basic things that you can do here. I automatically have a bucket list. Or visiting the Brokopondo Reservoir Lake. Brokopondo is simply Surinamese for Brokopondo is Surinamese for broken ferry. Broko meaning broken in Surinamese, the local unofficial language, and Pondo means pontoon, as in a ferry boat. Santix Mendesosus is asking me how's the capital. The capital is like any other capital in a shithole. It is overcrowded. It is heavily congested. So believe me, if you would like to live somewhere here, you would live you'd like to live. You would definitely want to live outside the city, okay, in the jungle. Believe me, not literally smack dab in the middle of the jungle, but let's just say, you'd like to live at least an hour or two away from the city. That's what I would do. I mean, outside the city, the difference is immeasurably noticeable. Outside the city, you feel like you can breathe. It's like every pore on your body is opening. When going like this, when being outside the jungle, you're literally going like this. You're not bored, you're nothing. You're just relaxed and you're blissful. And whereas in the city, it's literally and literally just trying to and swearing whenever you're in traffic. Get the fuck out of my sight, toot toot. Yeah. Jason Dunn says, hi, I shall watch for a short while as I have to be up early hours of the morning. Yes, I understand, Jason. In your location, it's already 9, I'm assuming, right? 9 p.m. But you don't have to worry. I don't think this live stream will be long. Santix Mendesosa says in the suburbs. Yeah, in the suburbs, indeed. Okay. By the way, again, for those of you that are online, how do you like my new fedora? My new fedora has arrived. So yeah, those are things that you can expect. For the rest, we'll also be visiting plantations. There are several beautiful plantations here. These are old historical plantations dating back to colonial times. Old Dutch plantations that a couple of them have been renovated, ironically, by the Dutch themselves. And yeah, let's see. There are like what, 2 or 3 plantations, but believe me, they're really beautiful. Jason Dunn says I like it very much. Yeah, thanks, Jason. My fedora. Yeah, and yeah, these plantations, the ones that are maintained by Europeans, are really beautiful. As you can expect. I mean, it's really nice and they're not expensive to visit. If you just go there, or someone that's local and that's just looking to make a buck will give you a brief scoop on the history. 1 or 2 of them are dilapidated, of course. Not all of them have been renovated. The ones that have fallen into disdain since the beginning of the 19th century or so are obviously just that. They're deplorable and dilapidated and everything. Let's see. We can also optionally visit Brown Mountain. Brown Mountain is a local mountain in Suriname. I only went there once and I intend on keeping it that way. Brown Mountain, the thing is that going to the mountain itself is nice, but the tour, if you were to take a tour, the entire tour simply contains you also descending the mountain and visiting 1 or 2 waterfalls. And I don't have a problem with that. Problems begin when you have to climb back up, which is ridiculous, okay? You'll end up feeling very tired because not even a 1500cc motor can handle that kind of pressure. It's literally like rock climbing, but imagine rock climbing for a kilometer so that you have a general idea on no ladder, nothing. You literally have to grab onto tree roots and whatnot, all the while watching out for for small baby snakes, poisonous or venomous snakes that are coiled and lodged in certain places. And believe me, if one of these snakes bites you, you're in deep shit because it's going to take a while before you arrive at a hospital, the nearest ambulance, and by that time, you'll already be paralyzed or similar. Santix Menezosis is asking me what the regional alcohol is like, beer, wine, how good is it? Are there good places to go to drink? No, no, nightlife is shit, just like the rest. The rest. Okay, as for beer, it's the usual. Heineken, local beer, foreigners like it. I don't, because it's shit. Local beer is shit. What else can I say? We're gonna visit Jacana Resort. Jacana Resort is also in that playlist. Is also in that playlist of videos, of course, on Suriname. Jacana is a beautiful wellness resort here. I've been to Jacana literally thousands of times, to the point where I'm bored with it, and I haven't gone in at least a couple of months. I only like to go maybe once in every half a year. They have an artificial waterfall. Water's transparent, nice and blue. You name it, and there's a bar that is in the middle of the water. So you can sit when sitting at the bar. You're sitting in the water, of course, on a couple of neatly carved out tree trunks. I do like Jacana. Jacana, you don't. I think Jacana is the only one of its kind here. Uh, Management is Asian. That tells the difference. I think it's Chinese or Asian at the very least. I've spoken to the manager a couple of times. It's just an Asian guy. Um, and yeah, let's just say Jacana is one of a kind. You don't come across stuff like places like Jacana here. Jacana is very creative and everything. They really tried. They really did their best in terms of putting the place together. For the rest, there's a local beach here called Bram's Point. It's where the Surinamese River stops and the Atlantic Ocean begins. That's also where you'll spot dolphins. So you can go dolphin watching or dolphin spotting, you name it. I mean, if you're really into that, you could try to take a dip in the Surinamese River with these dolphins. But I don't recommend it because one of the boatsmen told me a story once, me and the person I was with back then when I went to Bram's Point the last time. As a matter of fact, I think I've only been to Bram's Point once. Yeah, I've only been there once. Um, about a couple of Dutch expats, and the thing is that they asked the boatsmen if they could swim with the dolphins, and the boatsman said, "Fine, go ahead." And keep in mind, these are wild dolphins; they're not trained dolphins, so no flipper or anything like that. No, 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 no. Or no shamu, like the orca shamu. No. And what happened is that one of these dolphins, hit one of those Dutch expats really hard and broke a couple of her ribs. So I advise against it. Okay, I don't even advise petting these dolphins. One of them might bite you and grab you, try to drag you from the boat underwater. No, these are wild animals. Don't forget that. They're fun to look at, but that's it. Something Mendes also says are very good for business. Asians are very good for business, at least in my country. No, Asians are good for business everywhere. Okay, Asians are like cheap labor that they offer cheap labor or cheap services, the cheapest bottom prices, and yet how should I put this? The quality of the quality of whatever it is that they're offering is still moderately okay. Not too bad. Not as bad as what we're used to thinking about when we hear made in China regarding products. We can visit, most likely we're going to visit Mountain and Hill too. Mountain and Hill. In Dutch, it's Berg en Dal. Berg meaning mountain and Dal meaning hill. Or not hill, sorry, valley. So mountain and valley, that's what the name of the resort translates to. That is a nice, quaint, and quiet resort, and it's very beautiful too. There's an outlook on the Surinamese River and the jungle, and there are also basic tours that you can host, that you can take part in there. and they have a swimming pool there overlooking the Surinamese River. It's really beautiful. Um, it's I've been there what 2 or 3 times. Yeah, place is good and it's cheap. It's really nothing. It's like what? Let's see, entry and everything is like $20 American. So yeah, and you can stay there the entire day. They even have cabanas, so lodges if you want to stay there, air conditioned lodges and everything. So if you want to stay there for a day or two, you can stay there. For the rest, the thumbnail, for example, of the initial video is from a place here called Baki. Baki, Bakkie, meaning loosely translated, it means kettle in Dutch. Baki means kettle, roughly translated. And the thing with Baki is that it's maintained by a Dutch guy and a local woman that is his wife, and his wife basically greets you and is your host. And aside from just there being beautiful nature-wise, you can also rent 1 or 2 houses there, and you'll get a tour around their own museum. It's a museum that they themselves pretty much renovated from scratch, and they have a bunch of historical items, you name it, things like old colonial maps from dating back to colonial times. You name it, not replicas, relics. They have old relics there, you name it, everything that slaves used back in the day, and the lady's gonna give you the entire scoop. Um, let's see. There's also another swimming hole here called Cola Creek. The reason they call it Cola Creek is because jungle water here, water that you'll find in the jungle, generally speaking, is dark brown. I already explained this in a previous live stream, I think. That's because the jungle filters out all the dirt and all the filth of the local river. The local main river is ugly as fuck. It looks like sewage water. Literally, I'm not kidding. It looks like sewage water. It's completely brownish, looks like toilet water. It's just disgusting, fucking disgusting. But that's because the bottom consists of loose mud. So you can imagine that the mud easily comes loose and then intermingles with the rest of the water. And as a result, you have that ugly piece of crap that's supposed to be a river. But the jungle filters all of that out. So there you can go swimming. There is even a slide, I think. Yeah, it's a small slide, but it's still fun to go in. I've been in a couple of times. And that resort is very roomy, very spacey. Doesn't matter even if there are 100 people present, there's enough room to walk and everything. And most of the times, it's relatively well maintained. So no garbage on the floor or no broken bottles, no thingy, no environmental pollution or anything like that. Everything's completely clean and you can breathe easy there. You can just sit and chill and relax and breathe easy. Aside from swimming, the only drawback is that swimming in that water is a bit if you're someone that's paranoid, it is a bit scary because the water is dark and you can't see anything in the water. Okay, when swimming you can't see where you're swimming unless you've got your head above water partially, or at the very least your eyes. For the rest, Pola Creek is relaxed. Like I said, due to its being so spacious, you can just relax and enjoy everything. No congestion from city life, no nothing. A helicopter flight above Suriname's capital, Paramaribo. That's also one of the things we're gonna do. I took that tour once. That's also in the playlist. That speaks for itself. It's self-explanatory. Palm Tree Garden. There is a garden here, a public garden. It serves as a public park that's filled with palm trees, hence the name Palm Tree Garden. And it is nice if you've never been there, but it has fallen into disdain somewhat. It's become deplorable. And every now and then you'll see a hobo or some kind of undesirable element there. So yeah, but for the rest, no, especially in the morning times and so on, when there's no one there, it is very nice. It is very nice to go to. Okay, it is very nice to go to. I've been to Palm Tree Garden once or twice, and by the way, I'll be like most of you already know, the local official language here is Dutch, so I'll be translating pretty much everything. Even if a guy tells you something, for example, at Baki, the woman simply explaining everything, I'll be translating it to you guys or whomever comes on this trip or becomes eligible for this trip. Gregory says, hi, Moreno, nice fedora, no problem. Gregory, nice seeing you again. Yeah, thanks. My white fedora's here. Let's see, Fort Zeelandia. Yeah, Fort Zeelandia is an old fort dating back to, again, colonial times. It's an old Dutch fort, and the fort is beautiful, but at the same time also notorious because a couple of slayings occurred there. I think 8 or 9 people were killed. 8 or 9 people were killed in back in the dark times when Suriname was in turmoil and the country was about to become independent, or when a coup was staged, better said, I think 10 years after its official independency. Because despite the fact that Suriname became independent after 75, it was still pretty much a puppet state. The Dutch implemented a puppet ruler that they used as their puppet, so it was still a Dutch. It was only independent on paper, but the independency didn't have any practical value. And that's when a local military leader took power by coup, and he executed all of those that basically allied with the Dutch. And he would executed them at Fort Zeelandia. So yeah, that fort is also a nice fort if you go to visit, especially if you haven't been, if you've never been there. It's very nice, and it barely even takes too long. Most of these things, believe me, okay, with the exception of going swimming and whatnot, these things will not take a day, so you can take all the time in the world. Honestly, I did all of these things what, in less than 2 months or so. Yeah. Going out to eat at local restaurants that I'm familiar with. Restaurant that I went to last night, a 4-star restaurant. If you want something more conventional, we can go to Pizza Hut, you name it, KFC. These are also present here. McDonald's. But yeah, those are pretty much the things that we're going to do. We're also going to visit the second largest city in Suriname called Naikeri. That is a border town. It borders Guyana, or better said, Guyana borders it in the western part of Suriname. All you have to do is just take a boat across. There are ferrymen there during the day, and they charge basically what? They charge $10 per person, and they leave. It's like a the naval version of a bus, and they charge $10 and they leave starting at 10 people or so. You can take the ferry entirely by yourself, but you're gonna have to pay for everyone, basically. So if you want to cross into Guyana, it's $100 by boat, and I think you'll be there in what, 10 minutes. The only thing separating Suriname and Guyana is the Surinamese River, as far as I know. There's also a beautiful lounge there called Lounge Seashore. It has a nice balcony overlooking the seashore itself. So yeah, it's very beautiful if you're not used to such a setting. Oh yeah, and that is pretty much it. For the rest, for people that are into off-roading, as far as I know, there are 3 off-road companies here, or 2 companies that organize tour trips into the jungle, depending on the location. One one of them heads into the savannah, the other one heads into an abandoned gold mine and a relating environment, and the other one just goes into the jungle, but in a different way. It goes into the jungle in a different part of Suriname, more into the western part of Suriname, midwestern part of Suriname. So yeah, those are the only 3 companies here, and you'll be heading with an ATV. I've been on every one of them multiple times, so I know exactly what it's like, what the terrain is like. Um, the tour in its essence, the trip in its essence is fun, but don't expect anything when it comes to organizational ability and quality products. Okay, so bluntly put, their ATVs or their equipment is broken down, and they're like what, I wouldn't say secondhand, I'd say 10-hand. I mean, hopelessly overused. But yeah, like most businesses here, they only care about making money. Doesn't matter whether they have to use the oldest, most broken down equipment available. So this is simply so that you know what to expect. And for the rest, Don't be surprised if the guide, for example, has difficulty navigating or something similar, organizational capacity and communication on a business level here or commercial level is just abhorrent too. Most of these guides aren't experienced guides. Most of these guides are simply people that know the lay of the land, literally, people that are familiar with the environment, with a small part of the jungle, but again, like I said, they lack the ability to plan properly and whatnot. So yeah, let's just say, for example, if a wild animal were to jump, there's something that's nearly impossible because the areas that you go to in the jungle are pretty much dead. There's nothing there except for maybe maggots and insects, but no real wildlife. So, but don't be surprised if, for example, some crazy wild animal were to jump up. The guide has nothing. That's how ill prepared they are. The guy, they don't bring any weapons, nothing, nada, zip. I think I'll be bringing my weapons, which I've done in the past, my combat knife and whatnot. Those are pretty much the things that you can do here. I'm trying to think right now. At the very least, the things that appeal to me. For the rest, there's nothing really. Nature is something you can enjoy, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the gist of it. That's what you can expect. Um, so what it will look like now is that I will be choosing a person. Not right now. By now, I mean metaphorically speaking or figuratively speaking now. Um, after a while, I'll be choosing a person, and I'll simply close off comments. I need to check to see if the option or the feature is there. I think so. I'm gonna close off comments, and I'm going to select the winner, of course, and I'll be emailing him or her. Most people, I'm glad to see that most people that commented on that video as instructed actually listened to what I was saying, and they left their contact information in the form of an email behind. And yeah, that is it. They left their email and whatnot behind. Again, this I only posted this last night, but I have already, I think, close to 10 people, or at the very least 10 people. 10 people, or at the very least close to 10 people that commented. My guess bedroom will literally have everything, air conditioning. You'll have access to Wi-Fi, you name it. It just continues. I'm a good host, even if I say so myself. That obviously I'm not like the local vermin, so I'm prepared and coordinated and everything. Everything. Most people that know me, most of you that know me, know who I am. You guys know what it comes down, what I'm like when it comes down to organizational capacity and ability and everything in between. So yeah, like I said, you'll have everything. Okay, I'll be showing you around if you or when you arrive here, as in this is your room, of course. This is the bathroom. This is your stuff. You name it. This is what you can use. That's my stuff. Don't touch that. And it just goes on, basic things. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The link to the video, I linked it in the beginning of this, in the chat bar, and I'm gonna link it again here. I see that 8 people are watching this. 8 people are watching this live stream, almost 28 minutes into the live stream. So keep in mind, okay, I don't know how long I am going to take to close off the video. It goes by feeling. Let's just say, I don't know, maybe estimated a week or so before I close it off officially. So, and I only posted a video yesterday. So if you want to become an eligible person for this trip, then just comment in the video that I just linked in the chat bar, and explain to me why you would like to come to Suriname, similar to the comments that you see with the other people left behind. Why you would come to Suriname? What about that appeals to you? What about that? What appeals to you about? What about me appeals to you in terms of wanting to come here and hanging out with me and having me be your host and whatnot? So yeah, why you would want to let me know why you'd want to do something like that? Why something like that would appeal to you? If you're interested in becoming an eligible person, I'll definitely comment. I'm going to tell people right now. I kind of fulfill a Caesar like role there. So it's either this or just this. I'll comment. With most people, I've commented approved on their comment. Um, One person gave some bullshit comment and I rejected that person automatically. And another person, I didn't comment. If I don't comment on your comment, or if I don't reply to your comment, then it simply means that I am that it's up in the air. I am indifferent towards it. I'm neutral. I'm not sure about your comment or similar. Okay, good to see. I see that Itomansky Day Chief left his comment behind too. Okay, good. So yeah, in any case, that is what it's like. Okay, so drop a comment if you want to become an eligible person. I'll simply be going through the comments. I basically read a comment whenever the second it's being posted. The second someone posts a comment is the second I take a look at it, and I immediately answer someone. So if I approve your comment or if I reply with approved and a thumbs up, it simply means that you're eligible. And I'll be looking into all of the approved comments, and yeah, and I'll be emailing one of you, and then you'll hear everything, this and that, and we'll start making preparations. The person that wins, I will be sending that person a video, a private video on what his or her thingy looks like, his or her room will look like, generally speaking, and we'll communicate further via there. So you can pretty much come at any time. Of course, I don't expect you to come, I mean, in December or anything like that. But let's just say that I'm flexible when it comes to the period. It's not a specific date. So even if you're busy right now or something, again, this isn't now. Let's just say if you're busy at the time that I contact you, then we can always postpone it or delay it or simply schedule it for another time. But of course, not with a year's difference in between. No, I'm the kind of person, if we're gonna do this, let's do this. You gotta strike while the iron is hot, and yeah, that's what I intend on doing. Gregorium says doing this giveaway is very generous of you. Thanks, no problem. Itomansky Dechev is asking me whether they sell weed here legally or illegally. They sell weed here, and it's pretty much legal. Again, the police is already worthless beyond measure, so yeah, it's nothing worth looking at even. But I'd still advise against buying weed here. The people that you buy weed from, they're obviously shady, but they're shady in a different way. I mean, they're really the people that you buy weed from here are, let's just say, bare-toothed people and whatnot. So yeah, I so yeah, you don't want to buy weed from those kind of beggar-looking individuals. Uh, for the rest, pretty much everything is on the table as long as you do it away from prying eyes. Itomansky Deichi says, "You, yeah, again, it would be much better if you were to. You can buy. Listen, you can buy thingies here, local herbs and whatnot that are often used for folk magic purposes. You can buy those. I don't know if those appeals to you. You've got specific stores here. They simply call them cultural products, and those you can buy them with ease. And those are almost hallucinogenic, okay, in nature. They're also weed-like, so yeah, you can easily roll up one of those guys, and that's it. For the rest, nothing else comes to mind, okay? That's what it's going to look like. Will be a round trip. I'll be picking you up with an airport cab, of course, and it's approximately from the airport to my house is like what, an hour and a half at most. So I don't live too far away from the airport since I live in the southern part of town, and the airport is in the southern part of town. If I lived in the northern part of town, then it would be a problem. But yeah, it's not an issue really. Um, Lake Broken Ferry, I think, has to be my favorite place of all the places. Lake Broken Ferry is simply a dream. It's not like the Surinamese River, so it doesn't look like shit water. It doesn't look like sewage water. It's completely transparent water, completely blue. You can go fishing there. You can do whatever you want to do. You can go swimming there. So yeah, we're also going to head over there. And that's pretty much it. Itumansky Deichi for asking me what are your country's god or what do your people worship. Um, I also want to, since he's saying this, okay, keep in mind, my country, quote unquote, my country, my people. This is not my country, and these are not my people. The vermin are not my people. But in any case, it's the majority of people that live here are either black, Indian, or so Hindu, or Indonesian, Japanese. So you can expect related things. The Indians worship their old gods like Shiva and whatnot, Vishnu, blah blah blah, Brahma, and they're still dot head like fuckers. Those kind of people is what you can expect. I'm just kidding, of course, with the fucker bit. Blacks, more African-esque religions, but a majority of blacks are also Christians here. They converted to Christianity or a sub branch of Christianity. And Indonesians are more agnostic. And that's pretty much it. Other minorities that you'll see are also agnostic. They're indifferent towards religion. They don't really practice an active religion. So yeah, that's what you can expect. Eric Anderson has come online. Hello, Eric. So yeah, that's what you can expect regarding or relating to the occult giveaway trip. I still need to furnish and have the downstairs bedroom made ready, of course. And once I do that, then we can get to matters right away. That's done then. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me guys know what you think, and if you have any other questions or any other remarks whatsoever, and I'll hear it. Okay. Keep in mind, let's just say another week until I close off comments on the other video. So people that want to come over here can drop a comment in that video, in the comment section of that video, and I will read it. And if I approve it, that means you're eligible. If I reject it, that means that no, you're not eligible. And if I don't answer, that means that I'm not sure regarding you. Gregory says it can be more fun if you choose two people instead of one, just in case you choose a weirdo. You can let people pay their tickets to show their motivation. No, I know what you mean, but that's why I'm very picky in terms of whom I will choose. But no, two people is impractical. Okay, two people is impractical. One person, it's quality, not quantity, and I already kept that in mind. Okay, believe me, I will definitely not pick a weirdo, and I'll also tell you that something that I don't need to tell people really. I expect you to behave like a normal person. I mean, you're not a pig, you're not a slob. If there are any other habits that you have, you know, that you deem worthy of me being aware of it because it might come off as inappropriate, then tell me beforehand. For example, like smoking and so on. I don't have a problem with smokers, but let me know if you smoke so that I can simply buy an ashtray for you. And I can let you know, if you want to smoke just outside, you can smoke here to your heart's delight, you name it, do whatever the hell you want to do. I don't have a problem with secondhand smoke. So if you smoke in front of me, I don't have a problem if you smoke as long as you do not fucking blow it in my face. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you what the hell's wrong with you. So yeah, that is pretty much it, Gregory. And now, letting people pay their own tickets is contradictory to the whole point of it being an occult giveaway. That's why I clearly said in the description it's an all expenses paid trip. That includes plane tickets. Itomansky Deichi says, I'm practically two people. um, yeah, knowing you, Itomansky Deichi, definitely. Gregory M says, okay, got you. Eric Anderson says, hello, day chief. In any case, guys, so yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. We're 39 minutes into the stream. Aside from that, the stream is also about miscellaneous things. So in any case, I've said my bit. Anyone that wants to ask questions relating this topic of the occult giveaway can hit me up at any given moment. I can simply message me or simply say in the chat bar whatever it is you have to say, any kind of remark or question you have. And that's it. For the rest, we can discuss miscellaneous things if you have miscellaneous questions or occult related questions. I do need to tell you too, if the place appeals to you that much, and if you're interested in buying real estate here and whatnot, I obviously can help you out with all of that too. I can help you out with all of that. I was born and bred in this shithole, and I've been everywhere. So yeah, I can definitely hook you up and let you know what is what and fill you in on general cost of living, how much everyday goods and services cost, to see to that you're not scammed or similar, by a local person that's just looking to make money off of a foreigner. It is, believe me, it is common here, unfortunately. What do you expect? They're vermin, so yeah, it's common here. Especially if you're white, and they'll openly know that, hey, wait a minute, this guy's white, this guy's not from here. And if they can clearly tell that you are foreign, you're not familiar with the lay of the land here, then yeah. Let's just say if you request a cab ride worth $20 is going to turn into $100. So yeah, that's why I'm here, of course. Of course, no one fucks with my guests. No one fucks with me, let alone with a guest of mine. Oh, Itamanski Deichi says, do they have oral tobacco? Oral tobacco? What do you mean? Regular tobacco? Yes, they have. They sell every brand here. Marlboro, you name it. I don't even know if Tacoma. I don't smoke, so I'm not caught up on the brands. Everything, menthol, whatever the hell you want. Oh, Lazaro LG says, I'm cool hanging here where I can catch you like right now. Yeah, sure, no problem, Lazaro LG. At least you're honest. Of course, none of this is obligatory. That's gonna be a good one. I'm not gonna force you to do anything. Okay, I'm already literally, I think, one of the kindest people in this world, so to speak, for offering this giveaway. Let alone if I were to force someone. No, 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 no. That's why I explicitly said those that basically want to come over here, or they feel like they deserve to come here, should be able to elaborate on why, and I'll be the judge of that. Then I'll be the judge of your sincerity and whether you're sincere enough. I'll be the judge of deciding whether you're sincere enough to the point where I say, okay, fine, I choose you. Rick Anderson is laughing. Itomansky Daisy just chewing tobacco. Yes, yes, you can have whatever the hell you want. Chewing tobacco too, you name it. You can roll up your own fucking blunt, whatever the hell you want to do. Oh, and for people that are more interested in the historical aspect of things, if you're interested in literally just history, in the sense of seeing how Native Americans live, or people that live primitively live, and what their life looks like, then yeah, we can also go to those places. I also love visiting those places. Those places are very quiet, and if you simply want to see how natives live, then I can simply communicate with them, and I can relay the message to you, translation wise, so that you have a general idea on the who, the what, the where, the why, and the how. This is simply if you're interested in the rainforest, in how natives in the rainforest live and whatnot. Gregory Am is asking me whether I'm going to do this giveaway often, or whether it's just a one-time thing. No, Gregory Am, this will be a recurring thing as long as people are interested in coming. So that means that even if you comment once, you automatically become an eligible person on a permanent level, or at the very least, as long as I still host this trip, or if I still host a trip to here. So this will be recurring. Keep in mind, it's not going to be a one-time deal. So if you comment, then I'll automatically keep your comment in check. For example, if one person comes now when I'm ready, then I'll decide whether, when I want to do that giveaway again or host that giveaway again. Let's just say maybe after half a year or a year or something similar. And everything is archived, of course, provided that YouTube doesn't delete it, including your comments. So When I choose, for example, the second person, for example, I bring one person over here, everything goes well, and I choose a second person after half a year or a year, then I'm going to go through all the comments of every video. I might think about reposting the same video, simply reposting the same video, and or just make a new video altogether. We'll see. Circumstances and conditions change, of course. So yeah, I will be doing that, and when I do so, right now at the moment, since I'm talking about this, I'm wondering a bit if I should also post this on my website. I'm not sure. We'll see. I might post this on my website to see if someone comments, but I'm not really sure. People are more vocal on YouTube. They're more vocal video-wise than on my article-wise on my website. Yeah, in any case, so that's what you can expect, and I'll simply be emailing you, and I'll be telling you something along the lines of you commented on the first occult giveaway video, and I'm hosting a second occult giveaway if you're interested. If not, then cool, of course. But if you're still interested, then yeah, you become eligible for the second giveaway, and it just goes on. Bottom line is that it's recurring. It's not a one-time thing. I already thought about that. It's recurring. It's not a one-time thing. So metaphorically speaking, most of you that want to come over here stand a realistic chance of coming over here. Oh, Rick Anderson says, yes, you very kind person. Itomansky Deichi says, what kind of fish can you catch? Well, depends on how deep you go into the jungle. We're not going to go deep into the jungle, but other than that, you can simply catch mundane fish. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not too caught up on fish kinds. You can buy crab here too. I honestly don't really know. Fishing isn't really my thing or my hobby. I can go fishing with a person, but I'm not too keen on fishing. So no, it's not necessary for me. In any case, if you really go deep into the jungle, you can catch monstrously big fish. I don't know if you're familiar with a show called River Monsters. It's kind of like a Bear Grylls kind of guy, but specifically fish related. He came to Suriname once, Surinamese rainforest, an episode, and he caught a huge fucking fish. I think it was a meter long or something. Yeah. So yeah, if you hold on, if I simply look up River Monsters Suriname episode, yeah, see, already shows up. Yeah. There you go. Jungle Killer TV episode 2011. Jungle Killer. Hold on. River Monsters Jungle Killer. Jungle Killer. ITV. Yeah. River Monsters Jungle Killer. Yeah. So Day Chief, here you go. I mean, if you're interested, you can watch that, and you'll see. I don't know what the guy's name is. The host, in any case, he visits places in the rainforest, and Suriname is one of the countries he officially visits. And yeah, it's one of the places he visits, and yeah. And you can catch really big fish, but that's really deep into the jungle where no one lives and where there is a wildlife in abundance. Every fucking thing in there can kill you pretty much. You've got eels, you've got crocodiles, you've got fucking so many venomous snakes and constrictors, you name it, everything. But I've never ventured that deep into the jungle because you can't access there. You'll only be able to access there by boat and only up to a certain extent. But if you really want to access it, you'll have to go by plane to a remote location, for example, an abandoned village. And yeah, shit will be waiting for you the second you get off the plane. We're talking about snakes and everything. So yeah, that's it. Anyone have any questions? Questiones? Okay, I'm gonna read your thingy, Itumansky Day, Chief. I'm gonna read your comment right now on the video. Shit, dude. Shit, dude. I hope you don't mind me reading it. It's public, so you can't mind me reading it. Shit, dude. Life is bleak where I'm at right now, but you look like a cool dude to talk to. Wouldn't mind getting some whiskey and talking occult. Okay. So you're a drinker. I am a drinker too, but I'm a social drinker. I don't drink heavily. It's detrimental to me being an occultist. Imagine it's beautiful where you're at. Nature is the only thing that's beautiful, nothing else. Keep that in mind. Again, nature is beautiful, nothing else. You don't want to see circus freaks and other kinds of miscreants that make up the population. Okay, approve. Caesar approves. Okay. Eric Anderson says just like Australia. Nah, I won't say that here is as dangerous as Australia. I'm familiar with creatures in Australia. Every fucking thing can literally kill you. But here, if you venture into the jungle, I'm talking about really deep, where no person has ever gone, and you happen to venture into an area where there is enough wildlife present, I'm warning you, okay? You'll encounter enough animals there without even trying. Um, enough without even trying. And yeah, it's simply a matter of watching out where you step before something fucking bites you or similar. Itomansky Deichi says you have zoos. Yes, we have zoos. Local zoo. When I was still a child, so let's just say in the 80s or the 90s, the zoo was still one of the main places people went to because there weren't a lot of other places you could go to. Whereas now, um, the zoo basically it's all about money. The zoo lives off of donations from philanthropists and whatnot, wealthy philanthropists. So yeah, the zoo is beautiful in a naturistic way. It looks like a theme park, kind of like a petting zoo, but no real dangerous animals are present there. For the rest, there is another private zoo here too. When you go off-roading with an ATV, one of the companies that I go at or that I go with, one of the tours that I take, they bring you to a private zoo. Simply a family here that hosts zoos for specifically by appointment, so it's not a public zoo. And yeah, they have a wider selection or variety of animals. You can literally take a look at everything. They have everything, plenty of snakes, poisonous snakes, you name it. They have a rattlesnake. I didn't even know that rattlesnakes existed in Suriname. And they told me, yeah, they do, but they're in the savanna-like environments, with not a lot of vegetation, etc. So yeah, if you want to visit zoos, we can definitely also visit zoos. Uh, Domansky Deichi says you can meet monkeys, right? Yeah, yeah, you can meet monkeys. Why? Are you a monkey guy? Are you interested in monkeys per se? Just asking. So yeah, that's in any case what it's going to look like. Regarding nightlife, there's not too much, okay? Nightlife, I think I might improvise by driving you guys around town, just showing you what the city looks like at night, what the Surinamese River looks like at night. It's beautiful because you can see the ugliness, the muddiness, and the shit water, the sewage looking like water. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, some areas have their charm at night, but for the rest, there's nothing else really. The only real thing you can do here at night is go out to eat at a restaurant or similar. Those are the only things that you can do. You can go out to eat at a certain restaurant, or you can do something similar. You name it. I'm trying to think right now. You can do things like go to a bar, get something to drink, but that's pretty much it. Okay. There aren't a lot of other places you can go to. Don't even think about, I mean, for the guys, don't think about an escort service or a brothel or anything. There are plenty of those here, but like I said, the local women already look like pieces of shit with eyes and teeth. So don't even think about walking into a brothel. It's just horror, just horror all around. Let me see if there's anything else. Nothing else really. No, nothing else really. That's what it looks like. I mean, here, if you were to decide to live here, for example, nature makes for great off-roading and simply going into nature. But you need to have the money to do so. You really need to have the money. You need to be like me, for example. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyone have any other questions? Anything else? We're going on 55 minutes right now. 5 more minutes and then it's an hour. Everyday things, okay, compared to, let's just say, compared to the dollar or the euro, or measured up against the dollar and the euro, are obviously cheap, okay? We're talking about the mini Coke costs literally what? A mini Coke costs 50 cents or some shit. For those of you that are interested in the cost of living, hold on, I'll just give you guys a link so you can see for yourself. So you can see for yourself what the cost of living in Suriname is like compared by US standards, so the standards of the American dollar. Cost of living, there you go. I'm missing David B. I assume that David B is really busy and shit. Oh, so yeah, the only things that are expensive are real estate, ridiculously expensive by local standards, or just general standards overall. Real estate, if you were to want to buy a house, based on the country's worth less than nothingness. If you wanted to buy a house here, then yeah, it would be ridiculously expensive. I don't know. You'd have to buy a patch of land first. Let's just say roughly estimated ballpark number would be for a house. Briefly outside the city in dollars. $40,000. And you can imagine how expensive that is based on the fact that the country is worth less than nothing. $40,000 to have your own house here, but you don't have shit. Nothing. Just nature. Guken House says greetings, Morino, and of course to everyone else here. Yeah, hello, Guken House. Yeah. Eric Anderson says David B with a B as an emoji. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I wouldn't recommend buying things here like buying retail items here like clothes and whatnot. They're not in, since there's no purchasing power, there is little to no availability here depending on what you want to buy. But generally speaking, items like clothing and so on, no. For example, is my fedora. This white one costs $50, right? Or the average fedora costs $50 online. Whereas here locally, if you were to buy a fedora here, there aren't a lot of places that sell fedoras. But if you wanted to buy one of these here, it would cost you twice as much, $100. And it just goes on. Okay, so you can imagine that market price or general manufacturer's price. I'm assuming the MSRP, yeah, the general manufacturer's selling price, or the MRSP, is twice as much, generally speaking. So I wouldn't advise you buy stuff. No. And that's not including, of course, that's not including cultural items or items that will simply serve as a reminder of you being here and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Itomansky Deji says, will you do anything spiritual when a wiener goes there? Itomansky Deji. In any case, yeah, that's a good question, a really good question, since most people, a lot of people have not, okay, at the very least, most people have made comments in the original video, the occult giveaway video, relating to people, relating to let's just say that in their comments they also included things like we're going to summon stuff, we're going to do rituals and whatnot. Keep in mind that that's not the objective, or that's not the purpose of it's not the purpose of you coming over here. Coming over here will be more for rest and relaxation. Of course, you're welcome to ask me occult related questions, but of course not of course don't ask me 21 questions and whatnot. All of the stuff that I have online already answers most of my questions. So yeah, I already answer most questions, or I have already answered most questions that are laid out. So there's nothing else really. There's really nothing else. But yeah, I don't mind you asking spiritual questions or occult related questions, but rituals are a big no. I mean, rituals are a big no. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, Itamanski Deichi says winner. Okay. You misspelled wiener. You misspelled winner. Wiener. In other news, I cut myself by accident. Here, you can see, with my combat knife. When my That was yesterday when my fedora came. I I simply wanted to cut through the. There was a what is it called again? There was some kind of anti-theft device or something, just a label or something. I wanted to cut through a plastic label, and just for convenience's sake, my combat knife was there, but I went too hard, so I went like this, and I cut through the thing, that label. But I really just pushed my knife too hard, and I was like, "Gak!" And it really deeply it embedded itself deeply in my tongue. Uh, but yeah, it can happen, of course. For the rest, there's nothing else really in terms of. There's nothing else really in terms of anything else that I have to say. So yeah, like I said, I'm open if anyone has any other questions, you name it, and I'd advise people that hey, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for most of you, I'm assuming. So I'd advise you to take it. Advise you to take it. The only thing that you'd have to bring would be general things, when you go traveling. A suitcase filled with a bunch of clothes, enough for a couple of weeks. Your toothbrush, you name it. Deodorant, if you have a specific kind of deodorant that you like. You name it, those kind of things. Up to this date, there has only been one woman or one female that has commented on my only one woman that has commented on that occult giveaway video, which is Goddess of Earth. I'm also not seeing her here. Maybe she's not vocal. She's the only woman, and I like to repeat myself the same thing I told her, in the sense that I don't care whether you're a guy or a woman, a man or a woman. Doesn't care. Gender doesn't mean anything to me when it comes to this. But yeah, generally speaking, more men are into the occult than women. So yeah, I don't see too many women that are into the occult, or at the very least, too many women that follow me. Itamaski Deichi says, how tall are the people there? Most of them are short, so keep that in mind. Most of them are short. We're talking about. I'm taller than the average person here, I think. Yeah. I don't know, 6 foot something. So yeah, Jason Dunn says good night all. Good night, Jason. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. No one else has any other questions. So I'm also going to stop the stream, I think. This was simply a short live stream that I wanted to hold in addition to the video, just to see what people wanted to think about, what people the thoughts were, what they were thinking about, or in case someone missed it, now you guys have another video that reminds you of the giveaway. And I simply wanted to elaborate briefly what we're going to do here, what the giveaway contains or entails. So that's it. I'll see you guys later, and that's all. I'm also not seeing code 919 here, but he's most likely otherwise occupied. Bye in any case, guys. Bye.